What's up, 8 Asians? I'm Olivia Speranza from MYX TV, and I'm here to answer your 8 questions about me. Being that I'm Hapa, I actually don't just identify as either Asian American or American. My mom happens to be from Japan, and my dad's side of the family happens to be from Italy. But I think at the end of the day, I'm just me, I'm Olivia, you know, and I think that these accumulated experiences that I've gone through in my life and the traditions that have been passed down from me to me from my family kind of make me who I am. And you know, I work and I've gone to school and I've done all these things, and it's sort of made me who I am today. So I don't think I identify as one or the other. I'm me, you know, and I happen to be Hapa. But I think at the end of the day, it's really about just like this tolerance, and I'm adding to that pot, you know, I'm adding myself as an individual to like this whole. And I think at the end of the day, that's really what's important. Asian American role models, definitely Janice Merikitani, Dr. Emoto, who wrote a book that absolutely changed my life, Messages in Water, Miyazaki, who's like the king of anime, and I can't remember his name, but the godfather of origami. Genius. I absolutely love him. And Lisa Ling, of course, right? And if you close your eyes, she could be white, so what's the difference anyways? But they're definitely at the top for me. Yeah, I definitely do. Actually, on my last show, which was 360 VM, I don't know why it ended up like this. It just is what it is. I can't take it back now. But for some reason, the lighting was really harsh. And when I saw those episodes on television, I noticed that I had this huge Frida Kahlo eyebrow. My eyebrow shot straight across my forehead. And then it was like I had one of those rubber noses on with those disguise glasses with a mustache, minus the glasses, minus the mustache, but I just had like these really harsh, dark shadows going down either side of my nose. And I remember the first time I saw it, it was like my mouth just dropped open, and I could tell all my friends and my family in the room with me watching the show, everyone was just quiet. No one knew what to say. That's probably like one of the worst, because I knew it was on air and there was no taking it back. So I hope we fix that for this latest show. I definitely think that the best way to reach out to the Asian American community is by being yourself. I think that when you're just you and you just sort of own who you are authentically, you're gonna reach out and touch people, and everyone's just gonna resonate with you because you're being you. So there's something to be said about working for an Asian American music and lifestyle channel, and we have these great platforms, whether it be the web or the television, where we're a platform to educate people. So we're creating content and we're able to touch other people. But at the same time, there's something to be said about this is just part of a whole. You know, we're all human, and instead of sort of perpetuating the separationism, there's this idea of, great, this is just adding to the human race. Okay, first of all, for the record, if you call it the Area, just don't. It's not the Area. Being that I live in the Bay Area, I definitely see the diversity here. I mean, you can go from Burma to Cuba by crossing Clement, and I think that that's beautiful. We have the opportunity to just be exposed to everything. Just from being in San Francisco, the culture is so diverse, and there's so much art and architecture and everything that you can possibly think of, from cuisine to you know, interior decoration. Everything's here, and given that opportunity, I think that it's so expansive for us that live here to take advantage of that. It's just beautiful, and I would really like to try to like bring that out and show people just how beautiful diversity is, and coming together and everyone living in one sort of central area. It's great. I really love it. I enjoy it. I don't think that there's the worst part of living in the Bay Area. I can't really think of any negatives. It just is what you make of it. And I think it's beautiful. So I can't possibly think of the worst part of living here. It's just gorgeous here. The 8K run, the infamous 8K run. Well, I was actually going to school in Korea, and there was a marathon, an 8K marathon, and I knew that the prize was a computer. So I thought, I want to go to Vietnam and live there for a month. How can I do it? I just have to win this 8K marathon. So I think from the get-go, I just sort of, that was my vision, that was my goal. I did it, and I actually went to Vietnam. I bought a ticket to Vietnam, and I lived there for a month on just that computer. On my iPod right now, I have such a mix of kind of everything. I feel like what we're not hearing enough on the radio, probably more Florence and the Machine, Temper Trap, Band of Horses, I absolutely love. And despite popular belief, Asian Americans actually do love country. I love Brooks and Dunn, now you know. I love country music, and there's definitely a lot of play of it, but Brooks and Dunn, I'm a huge fan of. Rilo Kiley, The Cure. I think for me, it's all about finding new music, or music that hasn't really been discovered by the masses yet. And besides like movie soundtracks, there's 500 Days of Summer, Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. Music tracks or soundtracks from movies are a great way to discover music, but also going to YouTube, just going in the music section of YouTube, I find a lot of really cool stuff that doesn't get a lot of play. Chromeo, they're kind of coming up, but I love them. Kind of all over the map with music, but definitely always on the hunt for something new. Asian comfort food would definitely be gyoza, which in Japanese they're called gyoza, but we all know them as pot stickers. But when I was around preschool, my mom and I would stay home, and we would make homemade gyoza. And I just remember having to fill this dough and then press it together, and it was kind of like lightweight child labor. But I always remember this, and I just identify these really warm kind of childhood moments with making homemade gyoza with my mom. I'm Olivia Speranza. It was great chatting with you 8 Asians. If you guys want to see more of me, you can check me out on MYX TV or on my new show, MYX Rated.